My name is Randy Pitchford. I'm the president of Gearbox Software and director of Brothers in Arms.
I'm Mike Newman. I'm the writer on Brothers in Arms.
So we're going to show you a deleted scene. This is from a scene called 9 Days Earlier. It was Chapter 2 in the game, and we cut it a few months before the end of production for a lot of different reasons, which we'll talk about.
This was actually a really rough cut for me because I actually envisioned this really awesome little scene where he'd introduce all the characters, but we ran into innumerable problems while trying to get this in pacing and acting and just a bunch of stuff.
The guy up on the cot there, that's George Risner. He's actually the tank commander that you link up with at Veerville, and there's a backstory between him and Baker, and we do a lot of exposition with the backstory of him and Baker and some other things that we ended up cutting a lot of that exposition and a lot of that backstory out of the game.
A lot of it involved just Baker and Risner being kind of like high school friends and chums, and involving Baker's dad dying and leaving this one relic to him, this pistol that Risner somehow got. The objective was that this pistol would kind of pass around to people, and it's like the death pistol, they die. So it starts out with Risner having it before he eats it at Dead Man's Corner.
Yeah, everyone in an earlier version of the game, everyone who got this pistol would die, but it was really a symbol of this relationship between Baker and his father, and it helped Baker understand the transition between a soldier's initial duty to his country and really what he arcs to, which is about the brotherhood between soldiers and the commitment to the man next to him. When Baker's father left, Baker as a child didn't understand that commitment.
You'll notice one of the problems we walked into right here is that we've been standing in this tent for about a minute and a half and nothing's actually happened yet. The player just bought this game, he really wants to do something, and no, wait, you gotta watch this guy hold a pistol in front of you. Can't fire it, just look at it. It didn't work right.
Yeah, we found that players really were interested in less about our characters at this point and more in understanding what the game's going to be. So you already went through the first few missions of the game, and you remember what that's like. Imagine if this sequence and what you're about to see was in there as well before you got to play the action sequences.
We're passing the 2-minute mark, and maybe we're going to be let out of the tent here. No, Mac's going to talk to me. Not quite out yet. This is more like, this was totally unneeded. Mac basically like, all right, Baker, we're going to win, and it's just a little too much hooah here, I think.
We had a lot of hooah in the game that you know, we felt important about at the beginning because, you know, these soldiers we always felt were better than us.
It's actually Musa on the left there. He was a character who was supposed to be the 13th of the squad and die on the plane, and this was going to be his introduction. Well, now he's pretty much not in the game because this was cut. So there he is. There's Musa, the 13th squad member. Oh, this was actually really interesting and another sad cut, but we got a voice actor and tried to get him to imitate Eisenhower, a very famous photograph from World War II. Eisenhower sounded way too much like Paul Harvey, and this just did not work.
Yeah, imagine, you know, Hartsock's responding. He says, "Are you scared, son?" And Hartsock says, "No, sir."
Look at me, son.
It actually happened. There's a famous photograph of him at Greenham Common and a lot of stories about that, and we wanted to recreate it.
This is also kind of painful. Little Zanovich and Obi here. They didn't get a whole lot in the end of the game, and this is their little interchange about what are the odds we're going to die, and I thought it was pretty funny. But
knowing what you know now about what happens to Obreski in the church tower, it makes this more interesting. But, you know, it's all exposition again, and we're not playing yet, so we're just walking around looking at guys and hearing them talk to each other.
This is another good one, a little tidbit for everybody playing. Hartsock does have a daughter, so this is what this little interchange is about. He's scared he's never going to see his daughter again. There's also a way to throw off the player and make everybody think he was going to die, but
that was Cole in the tent there. There's a little Easter egg.
There's McCreary right there. Guy looks like he's 14. Another little Easter egg. Here's Johnny Rivas. You might remember him from the Penny Arcade stuff. He's the one that drew all that, so there you go.
Rivas, you probably also watched Die Very Quickly in Purple Heart Lane.
He went out with honor.
I don't know why I laugh at that. It's so weird, you know, to tell these characters that we care about, and you know, these guys died like the real soldiers did in a lot of cases, horrifically, and somehow there's still humor in this grisly outcomes.
Speaking of humor, this is actually one of the best scenes in the sequence. My favorite in the sequence, definitely. It's Alan describing how he got VD from a waitress broad downtown in England. So he's a little mad, we'll say.
It's interesting. To Mike's credit, I think it plays out much better on paper than it did with these actors. But I thought this was a really witty piece of dialogue, and I actually missed seeing this go too.
This is actually an interesting lesson we learned. When you record chronologically, the first stuff you do, they're not going to be in their character as much. So this being what we recorded chronologically first and being the game chronologically first made it easier to cut because nothing happens and the dialogue was the weakest. So.
I think if we were to direct this game again, we'd probably record the scene last and record it with all of the actors in the booth together, which was hard to do logistically. Anyway, this is the deleted scene 9 days earlier.
Hope you enjoyed it.
I never asked to be squad leader, but I had no choice. I now have 13 soldiers under my command. 13 men depending on me to make the right decisions and not get them killed. 13 families relying on me to bring their loved ones home. 13. 13 is not a lucky number.
Stand up! Hook up! Check your equipment! Remember, this squad sticks together! Once you hit the ground, find Baker and he'll lead us! Sound off!
14 okay! 13 okay! 12 okay! God damn it! Orion's hit!
I'm fine! I'm okay!
Jesus Christ, we're getting murdered here!
I gotta jump, Sarge!
We wait for the green light!
If you wait any longer, there won't be a fucking green light!
Let's get the hell out of here!
Baker! Stand in the door!
God damn it!
I never asked to be squad leader.
Ost battalions, from the German word Ost or East, were troops drafted into German service from prisoners captured from the Soviet Army. Most of these soldiers were from Asian Russia, North Africa, Russia, Ukraine, the Muslim republics of the Soviet Union, and other places the Germans had conquered. The Ost battalions in Normandy area on D-Day were from the 709th and 243rd Static Divisions. The quality of these troops was so low that the German army had no chance to implement a defense in depth and fixed these men to fight from prepared positions that guarded the beaches. The German strategy was to use the Ost battalions to defend from fixed positions, and German NCOs were ordered to shoot their own men if they tried to run away. The primary mission of the 101st Airborne was to support the landing of the U.S. 4th Infantry Division at Utah Beach. At 6:30 a.m., the American 4th Infantry Division landed on Utah Beach. The 4th Infantry Division linked up with the 101st Paratroopers early on D-Day and quickly moved inland. In Brothers in Arms, the squad ambushes the Germans streaming away from Utah Beach along Exit 4. Today, a monument exists at Exit 4 to commemorate the landing of the Allied forces, which included the Free French soldiers who participated in the liberation of their country. This is the U.S. M1 Garand rifle. General Patton called the M1 rifle the greatest battle implement ever devised. The M1 Garand was the standard weapon of the U.S. infantry soldier in World War II. The M1 is semi-automatic. It is a gas-operated, self-loading, shoulder-fired weapon. The ammunition is held in a clip of 8 .30-caliber cartridges. In the hands of a well-trained soldier, the M1 Garand could fire as fast as the trigger could be pulled until all 8 rounds were expended. The M1 Garand provides your fire team in Brothers in Arms with accurate, long-range firepower. This is the U.S. M1 Thompson submachine gun. The Thompson submachine gun was the weapon of choice of the paratroopers of D-Day. The Thompson weighs 12.5 pounds when fully loaded and is 33 inches long. The Thompson fires between 600 and 700 rounds per minute. Paratroopers would load their Thompson with either a 20-round or 30-round magazine. In Brothers in Arms, the 45-caliber Thompson is absolutely deadly in the hands of a trained paratrooper in close combat. Use this weapon for the close assault. The German infantry was the mainstay of the German army. These soldiers were very dependable and much better trained, equipped, and disciplined than the Ost battalion troops. The infantry was organized into 9-man rifle squads, comprised of a sergeant, a 5-man rifle element, and a 3-man light machine gun team. In 1944, the German squad and its tactics revolved around the MG-42 machine gun. In the 101st Airborne Invasion area, the regular infantry were predominantly from the German 91st Infantry Division. This is the British-made Horsa glider. Gliders like this one were essential to reinforce the paratroopers on D-Day. The Horsa glider could carry 30 fully armed troops or equipment such as a jeep, a howitzer, or anti-tank guns. The Horsa was a high-wing glider with a fabric-covered wooden structure and fixed tricycle landing gear. It had a wingspan of 88 feet and a length of 67 feet. Towed by a C-47 transport aircraft, the Horsa was let loose over the target and glided down to land in the open fields of France. In Brothers in Arms, you will see Horsa gliders land in the chapter titled Rommel's Asparagus. This is the U.S. M5 Stuart light tank. Tanks like this landed in the first wave at Utah Beach and linked up with the paratroopers of the 101st Airborne during the D-Day invasion. Among the American tanks, the M5 had the least armor and the smallest gun. It was used primarily for reconnaissance, scouting missions, and light infantry support. The Stuart tank was armed with a 37mm main cannon, which was used against fixed positions and lightly armored vehicles. A 30 caliber machine gun mounted coaxially with the main gun, which could be aimed with the turret at enemy infantry. A 30 caliber bow machine gun, which could be used for suppression of enemy positions. And a turret mounted 30 caliber machine gun, which could be used by an infantryman riding on the back deck, just like Sergeant Baker can do in Brothers in Arms. I'm a paratrooper. They call me the Colonel. I'm temporarily assigned to Fox Company, 502nd Parachute Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne, the Screaming Eagles, as an observer for the Allied commander, General Eisenhower. It's my job to report back to Ike when all this is over. We jumped into Normandy 3 days ago, just after midnight on June 6th. Our mission was to support the beach landings, cause as much chaos as possible, and stop the Germans from driving the invasion forces back into the English Channel. Since then, it's been a hell of a fight just to stay alive. Right now, the battle is here, at the Norman town of Carentan. Our mission is to capture Carentan before the 13th of June. The Krauts are going to do their damnedest to stop us. The odds are that a few of us won't survive this, let alone 8 days. Before we left England, General Eisenhower told us that he expected full victory and nothing else. So that's exactly what we're going to do. The folks back home and everyone in the free world is depending on us. Okay, soldier, saddle up. We have a war to win. This is the German Mauser K98 rifle. The Karabiner 1898 Kurz, as it was called in the German army, was the backbone of the German infantry and probably the best bolt-action rifle ever made. The K98 rifle weighs 8 pounds 9 ounces and is 43.6 inches long. It has an internal box magazine that holds 5 rounds of 8mm Mauser ammunition. The rounds are fed into the internal magazine either individually or with the use of a handy stripper clip. In the hands of a well-trained marksman, this rifle could hit targets beyond 400 yards. In Brothers in Arms, you will often fight several teams of enemy soldiers armed with K98s protecting an MG42 machine gun, the center of a German infantry squad. This is the German Sturmgeschütz 4, commonly called the Stug. Turretless assault guns like this were used to support German infantry units to knock out machine gun position and Allied tanks. The Stug was armed with a high-velocity 75mm cannon mounted in a cast mantlet. The 75mm cannon could easily penetrate Allied light tanks. The Stug's disadvantages are that it has no turret, and the vehicle must move to face the target for the main gun to fire. In Brothers in Arms, you can use this information to your advantage when you attack the Stug with an anti-tank weapon or an Allied tank. The Sherman tank. Tanks like this landed in the first wave at Omaha Beach and linked up with the paratroopers of the 101st Airborne near Carentan. The Sherman tank was armed with a 75mm cannon, which was used most effectively against the sides or rear of enemy tanks. The German parachute infantry, or Fallschirmjägers, were the best equipped and most highly motivated light infantry in the German army. The German 6th Parachute Regiment and the 3rd Parachute Division fought in the Normandy battles. These German paratroopers, like their American counterparts, were all volunteers. They had more modern rifles and a higher allocation of machine guns, anti-tank weapons, and mortars than regular infantry. The Fallschirmjägers proved highly effective in the defensive actions they fought against American infantrymen in Normandy and were fierce opponents. This is the German MP-40 submachine gun. The MP-40 was the standard German submachine gun of World War II and was the preferred weapon for squad leaders in the German army. The MP-40 is 32.75 inches long with the folding metal stock extended, and it weighs 8.7 pounds. The MP-40 was a very lethal weapon at close range. Many Americans preferred the MP-40 over their own submachine guns and scavenged them whenever possible. In Brothers in Arms, you can feel free to take one for yourself. The Waffen SS Panzergrenadiers were some of Germany's toughest soldiers and could be counted on to have more equipment, ammunition, anti-tank weapons, and overall firepower than any other infantry force in the German army. The Panzergrenadiers, which stands for mechanized infantry, were heavy infantry designed to fight in and around their armored half-tracks. Their purpose was to support and enable the fast-moving tanks and to keep the tank attack rolling along. The Germans believed in the concept of combined arms, using infantry, tanks, artillery, and aircraft together to overmatch the enemy in mobility and firepower. This is the German Panzer IV, or Panzerkampfwagen IV, as the Germans called them. The Panzer IV was the workhorse of the German Tank Corps. Tanks like this were used by the Germans in the counterattack on Carentan to destroy American tanks and to support the German infantry assault. The Panzer IV had a high-velocity 75mm cannon, which can penetrate the Sherman's armor at long range. The Panzer IV had thicker frontal armor than the American M4 Sherman tank, so it was best to attack the Panzer IV in the rear or on the sides. Stay away from the Panzer IVs unless you have both tanks and infantry to attack them. This is the U.S. .30 caliber M1903 Springfield rifle. The M1903 series rifles were originally issued to American soldiers during World War I, but the rifle saw service in World War II, the Korean War, and even the Vietnam War as a sniper rifle. The M1903 rifle is a manually operated, rotating bolt, internal magazine fed rifle. The Springfield has an overall length of 43.5 inches and weighs 9 pounds. The M1903A4 was specifically modified for use as a sniper rifle with the addition of an M73 telescope. In Brothers in Arms, there will be situations where you will want to arm yourself with a Springfield sniper rifle.
Baker! Baker, you okay? I think he's coming too.
He's fine. Get him on his feet. God damn it!
Fox 2, can you hear me? Can you fucking hear me? Fox 2, this is Fox 3. Answer me, damn it. Sarge, I can't get anyone.
Linger, keep trying. We need armor now. We're all dead.
Hello? Hello? Shit, is anyone there? I need armor support now. I mean right fucking now.
Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Don't let him break through.
Get up, man! Get up!
Forget him, Jameson. He's gone. Get back on that machine gun. He's firing.
Come on, man, don't die. Hang in there.
Linger, where's that goddamn armor?
He's gonna die. He needs help.
We're all gonna die if you don't get on that fucking radio.
No! God damn it! Jump, bastard!
Oh shit, they got armor! Let's get the hell out of here! No one's fall back! Keep firing! Don't stop firing! Get down! This is gonna be bad!
You want me? Take me! Fucking take me! Take me!
Baker! Baker!
On June 13, 1944, the 101st Airborne Division held the vital town of Carentan, but just barely. To defend Carentan, the paratroopers needed to secure the high ground to the west. The German attack to recapture Carentan drove to within 500 yards of the edge of the town. The 2nd Battalion, 502nd Parachute Infantry, moved down to the 506th Parachute Infantry's right flank and helped to regain some of the lost ground. But the attack threatened the junction of the Utah and Omaha beachheads so seriously that the Americans decided to send tanks to repel the German counterattack. At 10:30 a.m., elements of Combat Command A, 2nd Armored Division, which had fought their way from Omaha Beach, arrived in Carentan. The coordinated efforts of the tanks, the infantry, and the artillery threw the Germans back and saved Carentan. This moment is recreated in the final climactic battle in Brothers in Arms.
We're going to show you the E3 demo of Brothers in Arms. My name is Randy Pitchford, and I am the president of Gearbox Software.
Hello, my name is Colonel John Antel, U.S. Army retired, and I'm the Chief of Staff of Gearbox, also the historian and military advisor. So my job is to make sure that the game is authentic as possible, as realistic as possible, and as much an experience of World War II paratrooper combat as you can possibly make.
Right, and my job is to make sure that the game is really, really fun. All right, here we go.
You really get to know a man if you have to watch him die. The moment right before he realizes it's over. That moment that his face reflects every decision he's ever made. In that split second, you know what kind of life he led. And if he regrets it.
All right, look at this. This is Normandy in 1944. This is what it actually looked like. Check it out. You can actually go here today in Normandy, France, to this very spot, and you could look out over the city of Carentan. And it looks different. It's been 60 years, but a lot of it's still the same. That church, for example, is still there, and it looks exactly like that today. It's amazing.
And this year is the 60th anniversary of D-Day, but if you go back there today and you look at this ground, you'll see that a lot of it hasn't changed. And the Gearbox team has spent a tremendous amount of time and energy to make this terrain and this battlefield the most authentic experience you'll find anywhere.
Yeah, I like to joke that if you memorize the game, you could go to Normandy and become a tour guide. Look at this guy.
Sarge, check this out. I picked up a BAR over at that crashed glider.
That's Private Zanovich. He has a Browning automatic rifle. That's a light machine gun that's going to be very important to your tactics of fire and movement.
Let me show you somebody else that's important. This guy, Lieutenant Colonel Cole. He's a real guy. Look him up on Lieutenant Colonel Cole. This man's a hero. He's one of 2 men in the entire 101st Airborne in all of World War II that earned the highest honor, the Congressional Medal of Honor. And the other guy that earned that award in the 101st Airborne was also in this unit.
All right, Baker, this is how it's gotta be. You and your boys have to stop the Krauts from breaking through our line. You've gotta hold. No withdrawal. No one stops firing. If you run out of ammo, fix bayonets. Just don't let the Germans break through. Fight to the last, or the Krauts will flank us, and it's over.
Okay, I'm going to do that, but first I want to show you the assault team. Look at these guys.
Now, as we've said, Brothers in Arms is based on a true story, and these soldiers are true to life.
Hey, Sarge. How's it going?
This is Corporal Corian. Corian's your assault team leader. He has a Thompson submachine gun. He uses that machine gun, which is very good for rapid fire at close ranges to close with and destroy the enemy.
Look at him. Look at his eyes. Look at his face. It's almost creepy.
You okay, Sarge?
All right. We spent a lot of time to try to create real people because as a squad leader I make decisions that will affect their lives and their death, and those need to be important decisions. See, I've got my fire team over there and my assault team over there, and I'm their leader. I'm going to lead them. But first you can see I've got a rifle in my hand, right? It's an action game. It's a first-person shooter, and I can fire this weapon by pulling the right trigger. Or with the mouse and keyboard, I press the left mouse button. I can also switch to another weapon, Thompson submachine gun. I can fire this weapon. I can switch between these 2 weapons, and I could swap them out for any weapon on the battlefield. It's kind of like, and it's as easy to play, but I can do something in Brothers in Arms that I cannot do in. I can lead my men. I can command them, and I do that very easily with the left trigger. I just hold the left trigger, or the right mouse button on the PC, and this appears. And this icon is a 1-button context-sensitive command system, and it allows me to lead my men. If I put it on the ground, my order is move to that position. If I put it on an enemy, my order is to attack the enemy, and I could lead my assault team and my fire team using this system. So I'm going to order my fire team, represented by that horizontal line, to move up. My fire team can fire on and suppress the enemy, to pin the enemy down with suppressive fire. That's why they're called the fire team.
Move up!
And the other team that I have is an assault team. It's represented with an arrow. My assault team is great for maneuvering on the enemy, for getting up close and killing the enemy, assaulting them. Fire and maneuver tactics are about suppression and assault. So my assault team is very important as well.
Now, these are authentic World War II tactics. The concept was to find the enemy, to fix him, to flank him, and then to finish him. Or as General Patton from World War II said, grab him by the nose and kick him in the ass.
That's what I'm going to do. Yep, use my assault team to kick him in the ass. Look at my men finding cover and using it. Okay, contact.
Contact, Germans.
Look at my men. They automatically engage. They automatically return fire. They have battle drills that they practice, standard operating procedures. That man's going to find a better firing position because he was out in the field there when it started. And then cover each other as some reload, the others fire, and suppress the enemy. See that icon there? That's a suppression icon. It can be toggled off. You can turn that off in the game, but it tells me what state of mind the enemy's in. Look, this guy's exposing himself. Got him.
Got him. Good shot.
Thank you. All right, let me show you something really cool. This is called situational awareness view, and it lets me get an idea of what's going on in the battle, so that I can make decisions about how to approach this problem tactically. See, these guys here, they're terrified. They're hiding behind cover. They don't want to die, but they're going to try to use fire and maneuver tactics against me. This guy is going to lean around the corner and try to return fire. He's in a tough position right now because I've got 6 men, 7 men, including me, all pinning him down. So they're suppressed. So I need to fire and maneuver. Now, the reason we give you situational awareness view is because we needed to give you some information about the terrain. You see, when these soldiers prepared to go into battle, they had aerial reconnaissance images and maps and sand tables, and they knew the battlefield. They memorized the stuff and rehearsed their fights. And so they knew the terrain before going in. You're not going to memorize all that stuff, so we give you situational awareness view. And it's pretty amazing. We went to the National Archives and got these photos out. You see this wall here? I was actually there. I've seen it in the aerial reconnaissance photos. And in this crossroads, it's exactly how it was. To the yard, it's been recreated. Our guys have walked this area. And last time they were there, they met a French civilian, 70 years old. He was 10 when this battle took place. And he lived nearby and in a farmhouse, and he witnessed this fight that is taking place right now in the game. It's almost like a time machine. Anyway, I'm going to fire and maneuver on these guys. I'm going to go over to the left there, to the crossroads, take my assault team with me, and we're going to flank them from the left, and we're going to get them. I'm going to leave my fire team here to suppress them. And I'm going to take my assault team with me, Sergeant Matt Baker. My assault team is going to go to the left, and we're going to flank and destroy this enemy. Here we go. First move to cover. Alright, we're going to move along this wall to the flank. Don't step in that.
Notice how simple all that was. Randy doesn't have to tell the soldiers to do everything. They're fighting on their own.
Machine gun! MG-42!
Contact. Get him. Good shot. Good shot. You flanked him.
Oh, wait a minute. There's contacts over here. I got a problem.
Fire!
Oh shoot, somebody's hit. Looks like there's a machine gun up in that house there. Hold on, let me check the right flank over here because I think I'm gonna have to get out of here and go back to that right. If I go out in the open and that machine gun opens up on us, it's gonna kill us.
Yeah, the Germans have shifted their defense, so you need to move to the right. Let's see if we can try to flank them the other way.
Let's see if I can get these guys.
You need to brute force this or flank them. Can't flank them left now. Too much open ground. Good shot.
That machine gun doesn't seem to spot me.
Behind that wall and pull this one. Oh, good shot.
That's a successful flank.
Good job.
Here comes some more. You know, I'm going to have to abandon this flank and go the other way. That machine gun's opening up.
Yep.
Okay. Those guys spotted me now. I'm going to pull back and move to the right because that machine gun's going to tear us up. Assault team, come with me. I issued the fall-in command.
Okay, they're moving tactically like soldiers would.
Yeah, covering each other, using cover where they find it. My base of fire team is still suppressing that enemy, pinning them down. Look, the Germans are maneuvering too. See that? They're using fire and maneuver tactics as well. I shifted to the right, so they're shifting to the right. We have a system we call situational AI, and it allows our designers to give the enemy's commands in the same way that I'm giving the allies' commands. It's neat stuff, and it allows the enemies to use fire and maneuver tactics against the player and his teams. All right, so this guy's dead. We're going to cross the road here.
Okay, it's a danger area. Be careful.
I know, but we got to get across if we're going to flank him from the right. Better than flanking from the left.
Yeah, the machine gun can't get you from here, so you're probably better off.
Let them cover each other.
Go, go. Ooh. Brisky got hit.
Damn it! O'Brien's down!
Yeah.
He's hit!
Okay, that man was killed because I crossed a danger area, kill zone, without properly suppressing the enemy first. But I've got a great flank on these guys now.
Okay, now use the flank to your advantage. Take them down. Watch it, you're taking fire.
He's trying to get cover from it. So
Somebody's shooting you to the right.
grenade, I will take care of him. He's trying to get out of there. Got him.
Good shot.
Thank you. Look, he's checking on his buddy over there.
He's dead, Sarge.
All right, Obreski didn't make it. He cares about his teammates, so he went and checked on him. I'm going to bring my assault team up, my fire team up, and we're going to make a move on this house. I'm going to end this.
This army
That's
Q-47.
how the invasion starts.
Oh, you gotta love the Army Air Corps. 100-pound bombs. Look at that.
Ooh. Okay, I'm knocked off my feet. I'm not dead. Simulate concussion with motion blur and desaturation. I'm okay.
Yeah, and sometimes friendly fire is too close and not very friendly.
Oh, John. All right, I'm going to make a move on this house, bring my assault team up here to cover me.
Go! Go! Go!
Assault rifle.
Get this guy.
Reloading.
Get him, get him, get him. Good shot.
Not a good time to
Get
reload.
up against that wall already, you're going to get killed.
Okay.
Okay, they're dead.
I'm going to bring up an assault team.
Give him some cover fire or grenades or something.
These guys are pinned right now.
Grenade him then.
Grenades. Fire in the hole.
Throw a grenade. We need
Oh,
you
it's
alive.
getting
Get him, get him. He's ready. Oh, good.
Oh,
Notice that German tried to run away from the grenade, but then he saw you and tried to shoot.
That is brutal. I love it. All right.
Take out that gun.
I could totally snipe him right here.
Do it.
No, I'm gonna tell my assault team to go get him.
Give him hell!
Always take the easy shot.
I want to see what happens. Oh, he hurt
Okay,
him.
close combat. They're in the assault.
Ooh.
I think they got him.
He got my guy.
Oh, damn. Oh, got both of them. Told you to take the easy shot.
That was stupid. I was just curious about what happened there. All right.
Tough going up a set of stairs.
I know. Let me get my fire team up here and
Move out!
let's see. Karen Tan is under naval bombardment. Looks like.
Okay, well, your fire team's still full strength.
Who's shooting on Karen Tan right now, John?
Right now, you've got the USS Texas firing 16-inch naval shells there on the town of Carentan.
Look at that. That's awesome out there. Looks like they got an AA gun over there.
And other naval ships.
Oh, I'm coming. Counterattack. I'm gonna get on this machine gun right here. Okay, those guys are suppressed. Oh, more contacts. Got him.
We got him on the
Pulling
run!
back.
Good job.
That guy gave the hand signal. That's the fire team
Okay,
leader.
take these guys down the right.
They got him.
Oh. Okay, German tanks. You don't have any
Panzer
anti-tank
IV.
weapons. Get out of there.
Panzer
Put some
IV.
fire on that tank while you withdraw your squad.
Hold on, let me get my guys out of here.
Put fire on the tank while you withdraw your squad.
Oh, shoot.
Give them some cover fire. They're getting taken down.
Oh, God.
Take them down.
Oh, man. Oh, tanks are tough.
Yeah, and 2 tanks are tougher. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our new game, Brothers in Arms, and we're very proud of it. We think it's a very unique, authentic, and fun experience, and we hope that you enjoy it as much as we enjoy making it.
Thank you, John. I'll do better next time.
Cool.
Tua.